Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom Om Swastiastu, Nama Budaya, Salam Kebajikan. My name is Eugenia Maura Astrina, a participant of Erlanger Debate Society's internship program, and today I will deliver a speech that argues against the motion that has been handed in this opportunity. Sebagai pemerintah Indonesia, Dewan ini akan memprioritaskan beasiswa berbasis prestasi, beasiswa unggulan, LPDP, dan lain-lain yang menggunakan capaian prestasi sebagai syarat utamanya dibandingkan beasiswa tidak mampu, bidik misi, KIPK, dan lain-lain yang hanya khusus diberikan kepada masyarakat ekonomi menengah ke bawah. Or, the English translation, as the Indonesian government, this council will prioritize merit-based scholarships, beasiswa unggulan, LPDP, and more, which use academic achievement as the main requirement over need-based scholarships, bidik misi, KIPK, dan lain-lain, which are only given to people from low to middle income families. I will begin my first argument. Number 1, the amount of academic achievements one may have is largely tied to other factors, namely economics. A student who is born into a low-income family may not have the same opportunities as a student who is born into a middle or high-income family. What's more, there's a common belief that the middle class is shrinking. With the rise of living costs and the stagnant rate of minimum wage, middle-class people are struggling to keep up with the economy. Students of low to middle income families may not have access to a good learning environment, such as a proper place to study or a school with good facilities, courses, books, credible teachers, or even time to study, as they may need to exert more of their time towards taking care of their family or even contribute to the earnings of their parents. One may argue that potential should shine through regardless of the circumstances handed to you at birth, but the reality is far from that. After all, there's a reason that 0 to 100 success stories are considered special. A student who achieves many things despite coming from an unprestigious background is a unique story, that is to say, a rare case. There's a rampant belief that the Indonesian government does not care about the quality of education, especially for the lower class, which has been proven time and time again, namely the conditions of a vast number of schools which deem them unfit for learning. Some schools don't have roofs, whiteboards, seats, and other basic necessities that aid in learning. Teachers in Indonesia are not considered a profession that is pursued for monetary gain. This is due to the fact that teachers are paid a feeble amount of money compared to the amount of work and service that they provide. At home, some students don't even have access to a viable learning environment. They may lack desks, utensils, books, electronic devices, or an internet connection, and other facilities that are nowadays crucial for studying. For example, how is a student going to succeed in lab work if they don't have access to a laboratory at all? Some students, due to factors such as poverty, are forced to manage time between taking care of their families, making money for their families, or even having the peace of mind to study due to their circumstances. Prioritizing merit-based scholarships over needs-based scholarships takes away opportunities from these students who are handed an unfair circumstance by birth. Research across Southeast Asia shows strong correlation between household income levels and secondary exam results. Richer families produce disproportionately higher numbers of top scores simply because investment comes earlier. For example, pre-primary schooling, test prep courses, foreign language immersion, etc. These facilities give kids a cumulative edge years before college entrance decisions occur. The reason need-based scholarships are so needed is because they don't judge whether a person is fit for financial assistance based on their merits, but rather on their needs. It contributes to leveling the playing field between students of different economic backgrounds. With it, a student has potential but hasn't been able to make great achievements due to various factors that have been mentioned, such as facilities, environment, access to learning materials, have a chance of studying under the same institutions that more privileged students study at. Again, it levels the playing field. My second argument. It contributes to inequality by hindering people from freeing themselves from the cycle of poverty. Some may argue that poverty is inherently systemic, that people who are born into lower and middle class families are inherently handed disadvantages. Other factors that may contribute to a child's academic or non-academic success have been explained in my first argument. This is called the cycle of poverty. It is harder for a family or even a person to rise from poverty rather than to fall into poverty due to various reasons such as infrastructure, education, access to opportunities, and more. Now, what should be the case if the child learns to lift their family from poverty? They may not have access to proper resources that allows them to maximize their potential, but they have parents or perhaps other family members who may place their hopes on them to lift their family from poverty. But without the academic achievements that allow the system to deem them worthy of financial assistance in the first place, how are they going to do exactly that? It propagates the cycle of poverty that this nation already contributes towards by expanding the gap between the rich and the poor. My third argument, it takes away diversity from an emerging student body. A decrease in need-based scholarships means a concentration of only the top nationwide achievers amongst elite universities. This can lead to an echo chamber of sorts, where academic spaces lack students who may have the same potential but not the same amount of opportunities due to the aforementioned factors. The emerging entrepreneurs, scientists, lawmakers, artists, engineers, or even musicians lack the grassroots class who have first-hand experience in tackling societal and economic issues regarding inequality. This is crucial to the development of the nation. Some of the most major changes in the nation happen due to the involvement of the grassroots class, especially university students. Namely, students who have experienced firsthand the inequality brought upon by the government and their individual pursuit of money. Intellectuals who come from humble backgrounds have a level of care towards societal and economic issues that are undeniably strong by nature. That is all for my speech. Thank you very much for listening.